Welcome, friends. I'm Nero, and good evening. Today we're going to be exploring Theophobia, or fear of God or religion. A lot of this comes from cultural differences and belief differences. Sometimes this can come from abusive interpretations of beliefs. For me, it seems like the fear should root in something deeper, should root in darker concepts, the trade-off between the good and evil. That if there are benevolent divinities, then there would be malevolent divinities on the flip side, and we are going to explore that by delving into faith. I have seen this played, but it's been a while. And this does play into the classic notion of the satanic panic, of anything that wasn't godly was evil and was of the devil, and heavily reinforcing these thoughts.
1987. It's been 1 year since I first went inside that house. I have to finish what I started. What I am about to do has not been approved by the Vatican.
I'm going to dial down the volume just a skosh. So I want you to be able to hear it, but I don't want it to be overpowering. Because right now it's overpowering for me. There we go. That's a little better. See, that's in Latin. Got it. Instruction, configuration, options. Master volume. Let's dial that down to 90%. Scan lines opacity, effect, aberration, display, fit. Sure. Background. Oh. Oh, let's do none. I don't want the background to distract. Actually, you know, we can do pitch canker. Full screen enabled, window size 100%, control rumble enabled. Oh, I could be using a controller for this. We're gonna use a controller. Okay. Destruction. Okay. Do I have to approach it from this way? There we go. Yes, that is how I have to approach it. Let's begin. Chapter 1. New game. Flashlight mode, lantern mode, turbo. No, it's just play. So what is it that makes the concept of faith so terrifying? there is something to be said for both the idea of the divine existing. Have you forgotten already? This forest has a mind of its own. If you get lost, you could always try remembering where you've been. Pressing the escape key or start button is a good place to start. Let's just leave. Can I just leave? I can't just leave. Right? Let's walk along the road for a bit. There seems to be a pile of wood. Oh, okay. I can't go any further that direction. I grew up in a very religious that was a horrifying monstrosity. And growing up in a religious household helped me better understand the questions I had about morality and spirituality. And there are important questions to ask oneself. Well, we scared that thing off. I think everyone should be able to question their own beliefs and evaluate. You're invited. Come celebrate Nate and Jason's 6th birthday. Turn right at 1338 Snake Meadow Hill Road. Go straight past the well. All right. Because there were a lot of things I enjoyed that were not church approved. And that was a struggle for me. I didn't understand why these things were bad. I'm gonna exercise that deer. Okay. I'm a little lost now. Short and stout. And yeah, so evaluating your own beliefs is an important step. Kids and I miss you more every day. Twins and Amy have started their next school year here at home. Amy keeps asking when she's going to be allowed to go to the real school. I think she's getting cabin fever. Twins are having no problem occupying their time. Yesterday they came in with their hands covered in blood. Guess they found a dead deer and thought it would be a good idea to touch it. I think we might have a coyote problem because when I went out with them to look at the dead deer, it was a pretty gruesome sight. Ours is just a day after the twins' birthday party. Can't wait till you come home. We have one power. We have the power of holding up our holy symbol, and we're going to use it. For me, it became a matter of evaluating what beliefs I held, and they're too plentiful to really explore in one video, especially a video that is exploring the fears of religion, of faith, of beliefs. That creature has the body of a pig. It has stated this multiple times. And but it was important to me to figure out why I believed what I believed. It was not simply enough to believe what I was told to believe. It was not simply enough to have a religious doctrine put upon me, but I had to understand it. I had to know why I felt the way I did about certain things. I think I'm following the twins? That looks like I'm following twins. There's a piece of paper. Ooh, piece of paper. Martin's house lies about 100 yards off the Snake Meadow Hill Road. There's almost no driveway. There's just trees just out in the middle of a gravel path that is mostly covered in grass. It was difficult to find the house, especially since it was already dark when we arrived. Father Allred seemed to know where he was going. He simply drove straight ahead until we arrived at the house. In the headlights, I saw an old shed off to the right of the path. Father Allred explained that he would rather perform the exorcism away from the house, but the Martins had insisted that Amy remain inside. He complained that leaving the family present makes it difficult to proceed with the elements of the rite that may seem harsh to the layperson. It goes unwillingly, but it goes. And I had, of course, during developmental phases, experiences with beliefs in supernatural and divine and metaphysical and higher powers, and I had to interpret them with the tools I had. No. And I think it's something that everyone has to do to some degree, is figure out what they believe and why they believe it. Mr. and Mrs. Martin greeted us at the front porch. Mr. Martin led us downstairs to the basement, explaining that Amy was down there in restraints. I felt for him. There was guilt and shame in his voice. Amy was in the very back of the attic in a chair, perfectly calm. Wait, not the basement? Perfectly calm, staring at us. It is hard to describe the look on her face. It was not the kind of look a child gives you. That's purple. And now it's not. Ah, that's sweet. That's less sweet. But I had to also understand what I was experiencing with my own senses, the reality around me, and decide for myself what what was real to me on both a physical a and a spiritual level. You can tell things are getting real here because it's getting quiet. There's a trail of blood leading to that door. Hmm, I'm sure that's fine. There's a rubber ducky. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. I hear voices outside around the house at night. I don't let the twins go out in the woods to play because I'm afraid of what's out there. The house itself feels stressed, distorted, slanted somehow. It's like I'm walking through a carnival funhouse. Amy's condition has only gotten worse. I can't stand to be around her, and I just don't know why. She just doesn't seem like herself anymore. I want to take her to the doctor, but I can't leave the boys here. I find that the phone stops working throughout the day, and now I can't seem to find my car keys. Thank God Baba comes home tomorrow. For some people, it's every bit as stressful to have there be no divine power, to be a giant cosmic accident. I guess I was the only one who thought to check in the attic. When I got up there, it was freezing cold. I found Amy standing in the back, looking straight at me, like when I first met her downstairs. We spoke briefly, although it was frustrating to talk to her, or it. I experienced a bit of deception from the demon. During our conversation, she uttered my mother's first name, and in other instances spoke perfectly Latin. Perfectly. I called for help from the others, but nobody came, so I raised my crucifix and began the rite again. When you're a priest, that's all you can do. Bob must be stationed somewhere in the Middle East because he sent over this weird-looking doll for Amy's birthday. I'll ask Anish about it next time we have book club. She looks like she could be from over there. Amy didn't seem excited to see the doll. I think she would rather have a phone instead. Maybe seeing a baby doll makes her feel like self-conscious about working at the clinic. There's a lot of toys up here. This seems like it could go from 0 to 100 real quick. This is probably the twins' room. Would about have to be. All right, well, there's only one place left to go. There have been many storied explorations into the divine, into faith and beliefs, into gods and lack of gods. And I can honestly say I don't know which scenario is the most frightening of them. Dear Amy, thanks for writing. It really brightened my day hearing from you. In your letter, you asked what's the weirdest thing I've seen as a missionary. The area we are working in has a lot of folks who practice Quimbaba. It's what you might call a pagan religion. It's kind of a mix of Catholic and African religions. One of the saints they worship is San La Muerte, or Saint Death. Yesterday, we talked to a boy, about 15. We asked him if he had ever prayed. He said no, but I have prayed to San La Muerte. He told us about a time when he stayed over at his cousin's house and, according to him, they prayed to some figures of San La Muerte, and the figures made things in the house move around. He got real quiet and scared looking after that. We told him he could pray to God and that God wouldn't make him feel scared like that. We invited him to church, but he hasn't come yet. I need to wrap this letter up and get back to work. See you in 4 months. Leighton. There's water on the ground. I can't bless it, otherwise it would be holy water. That would be really handy, actually. It's a weird number of mannequins. There is a paper. Amy's parents could not endure witnessing the proceedings of the rite for long. Mrs. Martin was hysterical, and the thing that was inside Amy was feeding off the fear. Father Allred asked me to take the Martins upstairs. I was physically worn out, but managed to get them back up the stairs into the kitchen. Amy was screaming, "Mother, Mother!" the whole time. Finally, I got them to sit down with me at the kitchen table. After a few minutes, we couldn't hear much of anything down in the basement, so I went down to check on things. I found Father Allred lying on his back, unconscious, with his arms spread out wide. Amy was not in the chair.
She is here.
She is here, huh? Well, let's find her. Okay.
Mortis.
We died for the first time.
She is here.
Oh dear. Oh dear. She's very quick.
She is here. Leave now.
She does not like she does not like that. And here's the conundrum of
She is here.
faith, of religion. Is so much of it is rules.
I can see her.
Oh, she's right there. Okay.
Mortis.
Oh. It's threat of punishment or promise of reward in a higher plane. And she's quick. don't know how to get around her there. All I have is this cross, and it doesn't seem to do much except make her mad. Okay, so we can scare her off. It's just tricky. Look at me, I flee. Okay. Okay. Oh, the one I didn't do. Oh, and we're back here. Most faiths have this concept of evil, of demons and devils, spirits. You failed me. And now we know which one it is. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Okay. We're almost there. Do I have to cleanse her from every room?
I heard a door open upstairs.
Okay. I heard a door open upstairs. Somebody should really do something about that. And so a lot of religion seems to boil down to what you believe is a supernatural component of the human identity. It's not saying there has to be, and for some people that's their belief, is there isn't. Molly, the church might contact you in a few days to tell you their version of what happened to me. I want you to hear it from me first. A year ago, I was involved in the exorcism of Amy Martin. What they said in the papers about what happened isn't true. My superior father, when I confronted her, she managed to cut the power to the house, and her own parents with their own. I have to go back to that house. The nightmares I'm having are real. She's still there waiting for me. I can still help her. If I don't come back, know that I love you and that I'm sorry. John.
My God, what happened to you? Do you think my face is pretty? I have to finish what I started. Humanoid priest.
Oh, it just
Morty.
it
My God, what
cares
happened to
not
you?
for
Do
my
you think I
beliefs.
face you, Brady? I have to finish what I started. Humanoid priest.
Boy, this thing is persistent. Like, very persistent. Oof.
Morty.
Multi-level boss fight. Got it. Cool.
Mortis.
The rotoscoping on this is pretty crazy. Okay.
Morty.
Even if I get it right, I might just need to dodge. Oh my goodness.
Morty.
Okay, it's always going to come from behind me then. Okay. We've got this. We're dodging. We're fine. We're fine. We're priests. We can save her. Oof. Okay. Oh, that's not okay.
Morty.
Okay. Follows the path. Got it. And then shoots a trail of things when they're corporeal. Oh, right. I need to move.
Morty.
I will win. Finish what you started? Okay. That mannequin has a face. Don't really care for that. But religion doesn't scare me. People with religion scare me. But religion itself doesn't scare me. Religion is just beliefs combined with spiritual understanding, and when practiced properly, it's whether you believe in a deity or whether you believe in the absence of deities. You're you're gonna be okay. Now it says to kill her. I would not like to not do that, if possible. Who's this? And why are you... What? I think that's the demon. How do I get back to the house? I should have grabbed the gun. Should have grabbed the gun. There's the well, so that's all's good and well. I'm a little lost. This path looks familiar. There we are, back at the house.
A gun with one bullet.
See, when your religion, when your beliefs, whatever your beliefs, start commanding you to kill, to destroy a being without cause, that's when they become a problem. That's when they become truly scary. He's dead, but where is she? Faith in any form can blind us, can confuse us, can twist the senses, can cause us to act irrationally, can cause us to hate, can cause us to fear, can cause us to doubt what we know to be real. And can lead us to make poor decisions. Beliefs are some of the most ephemeral and dangerous things in the world. They are incredibly strong. They are incredibly powerful. They can lead us to greatness, and they can lead us to terrible atrocities. They can alter our interpretation of what has been done. They can drive us to do what we believe we need to do.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. I shall not be afraid.
Esteemed Cardinal Gifford, with all due respect, you cannot grasp the importance of the work I am doing for young Michael without being present here. Michael needs my help now more than ever. In the past few weeks, I have made great progress with Michael's afflictions. Nevertheless, whatever darkness is inside him fights back with increasing ferocity. We must not let up the fight against the enemy at such a critical time. There is another reason why I dare not return Michael to his family, nor let them see him. The darkness inside him afflicts his soul, but it also causes a terrible strain on his body. So that there may be no mistaking what I mean, I have enclosed a photograph of young Michael during one of our sessions. The photograph is missing. So, my friends, believe what you will, practice what you will. Do so in good faith, and be not afraid. For now, farewell.